Welcome, everybody. This is Will Torres and Ron Rubio here, and we are VSN Live Show. So after a wonderful week of talking to coaches, administrators, and people out in the public, we have college kids and some NFL prospects that are going to join us today. We had a blast during the week, Tuesday through Friday. There were some great interviews. We appreciate everybody that tuned in. Ron and myself, we had a great time, man. Some of the highlights from this previous week, Ron?
I think just about everybody, the highlight of the week is that everybody we had something good to say. They were all interesting in their own way. And the main thing that I took out of this, Will, is I think we got underneath the layers of all these people that run the Imperial Valley football system. I mean, we know who they are now. It's just not a guy out there in shorts yelling at kids as for coaches. The administrators, athletic directors, we got to know them a little bit more as far as, how they got to where they're at. And I think that's a very in-depth points that we brought out in them. And I didn't know it was going to take us this way. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's a very exciting time now. This COVID-19 has actually, put us in a situation where we're doing these live shows like this and we're taking advantage of it. It's not that we did have other plans, but this is just a great way to communicate. People are itching to get back out there. And, high school football, as we said before, it's one of the sports. It's one of the things that Valleyites just really look forward to that Friday night, because a lot of us here in Imperial Valley, we just love our high school sports, whether it be, the football, then, especially the girls volleyball. Then you jump into the basketball season, which we witnessed. We have three of the best wrestling programs here with Hopeville, Imperial Tigers, and the Brawley Wildcats, each, representing the Valley every time they go to CIF, and then at Masters after that. I mean, they represent the Valley well. And it's not just 1 year with those type of programs. It's what it is. It's the foundation and the programs that those three in itself that everybody's trying to get there. That's where everybody wants to be. So, and it's the same way in the football sense, Ron. Brawley has that tradition that, it doesn't really matter what's going on, what happened, whether, they lost one game during the season. You're never going to count them out, Ron. They're always going to be there, just like Central. And in Imperial, every year they seem to be, nipping at everybody's toes every week. They're always in the running is what I'm trying to say. They're always in the running for that title at the end of the year, Ron. So that's one of the great things. And, with Coach Haynes down at Southwest, with his enthusiasm, it's just, he's really got a good program going on. And then we're curious to see what's going to happen with Calexico. So, we'll find out pretty soon on that one. And then, like we said earlier, in the new Desert Valley League, we got to meet Coach Bernard and Coach Wally at Apollo Verde. So some exciting things coming that way. So that's always great to hear. So today, Saturday, we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to bring in some college kids. For today's schedule, we have Joey Tarango. He's a Central graduate out of El Centro High School. It's his second year at Colorado State University, Pueblo. He was a standout athlete here in Imperial Valley, and it's his second year here. After we're done with the interview of him, we got Casey Klein from Boise State Broncos. It's his second year. Things we're going to talk to him. He developed a serious injury his junior year, and we're going to see how he's doing. And from according to his dad, he's looking really good, putting on some pounds, of muscle. So he's looking real good. And then we're going to jump with our third and final guest. It's going to be Nico Aguirre. He's also a Brawley graduate that played at Idaho State for the Bengals down there. He finished off. He was, unfortunately, out of all these three kids, the worst case scenario might have been for Nico, because when he was getting ready for his pro day debut at I forget which college they were going to hold it at, Ron. you were mentioning to me that it got canceled because of the COVID-19. So
Right.
it really impacted not just Nico, but I'm sure it impacted a lot of kids on that. So Ron will ask him what's the situation with going on with that, and we're really curious to find out. Especially a lot of people in the north end, Raleigh, and even some of the people Nico played with. They're curious to find out what is going on right now. What are his plans? Because I don't know exactly where he's at, Ron. I believe he's in Idaho right now.
Yeah, he's in Idaho right now. He's taking care of some personal business, helping his girlfriend, I believe, move out of her dorm or apartment. So Nico was on the road yesterday when I was speaking to Nico. He was traveling by himself to Idaho. So he's there now, and he's ready to tell his story. So it's going to be a lot of interesting facts on what Nico's up to. Like you said, great lineup today. You got Joey Tarango, second year at Colorado State Western Pueblo, the Thunderbirds there, and we're going to find out what he's up to. And like we said, it's interesting because Casey Klein is on a different path as well. I don't know if he was a red shirt or a gray shirt last year, and he's trying to rehab that shoulder that he had repaired. So it's a good story all around. 3 different avenues, 3 kids playing college ball. Nico's done, but these 2 other guys are starting their careers, and I think it's going to be pretty informative. Can't wait to get started.
Ronnie and myself also want to mention that this is one of the aspects that VSN really, and this is my fault, we really want to improve on this. I know we had a lot of kids, that are going to colleges and stuff, and just when instead of highlighting one every night, we were going to do a segment of it, and then all of a sudden, boom, the COVID-19 hit and everything shut down. So it really threw us in a tailspin. But it is part of VSN that we want to improve on. This, where are these kids going to college? We want to keep the people updated on where they're at, how they're doing. Every week we want to give a little profile on that. So we hope to improve on that. This being our second year, those are one of the things that we need to look at more closely. And I'll be the first one to tell you, we need to improve in that, Ron, and that's our plans, So without further ado, man, I'm looking forward to talking to Joey, and VSN will be right back after this message from our great sponsor, Frank. Welcome back, everybody. I'd like to introduce our next guest. It's a second year at Colorado Pueblo, playing for the Thundercats. Is that correct?
Thunderwolves.
Thunderwolves.
Yeah, you're good.
Hey, man, you're thinking of a cartoon, Will, Thundercats.
Yeah.
Well, Joey, welcome to VSN Live. Thank you for showing up. It's your second year at Pueblo, and man, we have some. I was right before you went on the air, I was mentioning to the people listening out there, this is one of the segments, Joey, that we want to improve on. You know, every kid that starts going to these colleges, I mean, regardless of where they go, I don't care, you know, if it's even a junior college, we're, you know, our goal for next year is to keep track of kids that have graduated from the Valley that continued their academic and athletic, you know, at the university levels or at the JC levels. So, this is a start, Joey. So once again, welcome to VSN Live, and I'll turn it over to my partner, Ron.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, no problem, Mr. Tarango. How are things going today?
Good.
Good to hear. Joey, just let the people know right now, okay, you graduated from El Central High in 2019?
Yes.
Okay, Joey, did you have to redshirt this year? What was your first year like over there in Colorado?
First year, so we went in and we had a like camp for 2 weeks. Like they say, like it's a hell week. And you get up like at 5:30 in the morning, and it's just throughout the day of just like intense work. So in the beginning, it was like you put on the pads, the helmet, you go on for 2 hours, rest, and we all eat breakfast together. And then we do a stretching together. Like two hour break. Come back and watch film of practice throughout the camp.
That's a good deal. Hey, Joe, one quick question. Okay, that was the regular day of 2 a day or your hell week.
Yeah.
What did they recruit you as? What was the position that you came in that they said, okay, Mr. Tarango, we're going to work you at? What position did they put you at? Where did they put? What's your position?
It was
corner. DB corner. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, now who's your defensive back coach?
Defensive back coach. I don't know his name.
Oh, wow.
Like back DB, Coach Leo Mitty.
Okay, I got you. And for those people who don't know out there, when you're playing either junior college or D1, D2, D3, your position coach is more or less kind of like your head coach. I mean, it's a whole lot different than being in high school. Is that the feeling you got? I mean, like back in the Spartan days and when you were in Imperial, the head coach was the head coach. You did have a position coach, but in the college level, I know when I played, it seemed like my defensive back coach, Sergio Garcia, he was my head coach because once you broke off into your skill position, that's where you worked. You did all your skill work there, and then you came together, and it was like the defense. It seemed like the defense was one team and the offense was another team. Is that the situation? Is that how it is with you, or is that how they still run it?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like, we are defensive coach or DB's coach. He's in charge of the whole defense, and mainly we never really see we see the head coach like during team meetings and that's it really. But the defensive coach, that's all we really see.
Yeah, really. That's how it goes out there. I mean, your coordinator is the boss, and if your position coach is the defensive coordinator, that's kind of a good deal. And it's like business, like what they're trying to teach kids is how it's like a business organization. That's how it runs. You never really hardly talk to the head boss who would be the head coach. Well, that's good to go. And Joey, so this year, were you redshirting or were you just on the roster, and did you get any playing time?
No, I was redshirting.
Okay.
Any playing time? With I guess with D2, so during the games, they didn't let none of the red shirts on the football field.
Oh wow!
I don't know if that's only D2. So all the red shirts, all the freshmen, they had as red shirts. We had to be in the stands.
Well, that's cool. I mean, so now that you got through your red shirt, season. What's in store for you now? You go back into camp. If camps open up, you go back into camp and you're gonna start competing for a position. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, that's the main thing. Or just get like on special teams somehow, so I can help the team.
That's the way to go. That's the spirit. Hey, Joey, another question here. Not to get away from the football, but I know back in the day you're a pretty good track athlete. Are you doing track at the school, or you don't have time for that?
I mean, we could have tried out, but that's a lot of time away from football too.
Yeah, for sure.
My focus is mainly on football. Well,
that's a good deal. And hey, Joey, before we go, I'm just saying we're really proud of what you're doing out there. What's your number? What's your jersey number?
I don't even know yet.
Oh, that's right. You didn't even get one.
Shirty, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, for I'm going to give the wrong definition of what red shirt means, but just for the people out there who don't know, anybody listening out there, red shirt means you're on the team, you practice with the team, but you don't get to play. Like in Joey's case right now, they don't even get to suit up or be on the sidelines. So like when you see USC, UCLA, all these other big schools playing, you'll see some kids with jerseys on. That means they're either red shirt or they're just injured. But in Joey's case, he's a red shirt freshman. Well, that's good to hear, Joey. How have you taken on now you're a student athlete still, so how is studying going? Are you getting into the groove of college life?
Yeah, getting into it was pretty intense. Like I got to be real organized with what I do when I study, when I got to focus on football. And with every day, we had 2 hours with the head coach, and we'll have study table. All freshmen had to do it, and that helped out a lot.
Well, that's good to hear, man, because you're going to need those study skills. This is your job, boy. This is your job right now, and I know it sounds like you've accepted it. You've got to do the things you're told to do. Number one, hit the books, take care of your body, understand what your assignments are as a football player and in your classroom. It sounds like you're on the right track, Joey. Well, that's good to hear, man. Will, do you have any more questions for Joey?
Yeah, I actually do have a couple of questions for you, Joey. Since you were able to practice with the team, your first year there, you redshirted and stuff. Joey, standout athlete here in Imperial Valley, but yet it doesn't matter what level you go to at the college level. Everybody's bigger, stronger, and faster. The speed that you have still, was there any thought maybe you playing offense at the wide receiver slot or either a tailback or anything? Has there been any talk about that? I know it's fairly, you're there, you're one of the new guys, and what's their thinking on that, or what do you think they're thinking?
I really don't know what they're thinking. I just, focus on what I wanted to play. I mean, at times I thought of playing, slot receiver.
Yeah.
But I really love my my defensive coordinator, Leo. I mean, he's a real motivator. Yeah, right now he has cancer and he's fighting through it. And he just shows a lot of life lessons. Like we have to talk to him like every day of how we're doing. And I really like that. Offensive side, I really don't know. I just know that they're not really close to the coaches like that.
Cool. What's that coach's name? I'd like to follow up, especially if he's going. What's your DB's coach name?
Coach Leo.
Man, I'd like to follow up on that. See how all that comes out, and if anything, keep us in touch with all that type of news. Those are hopefully those are stories, the good feel stories that we hear, good outcomes out of that. And if he's still coaching, and look, he's on the right path and stuff. So congratulations once again. It's your second year. We expect to see. Is there anybody else from the Valley there right now, or at Colorado?
I really don't know. I don't think so. No.
On the football team, I'm referring to.
Oh, to Dale?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't talked to him since we came down, so I really don't know his situation.
Okay, cool. Well, Joey, man, say hello to your dad for me. I know he's down here refereeing and a lot of other sports. And Joey, we plan to keep in touch with you. We wish you the best of luck your sophomore year. Well, actually, it'll be your redshirt freshman year. And go get them. Go make the Valley proud, man. And congratulations. And we wish you the best of luck. And like we said, we're going to make a commitment to the student athletes that furthered their education, playing at different levels. So we hope to continue that with you, Joey.
Thank you.
Hey, Joey, before you get going, man, listen to this. What's your schedule right now? Is there any word? Have you gotten any word? Like, when do you report, or are you doing virtual workouts? What's the story with that right now?
They send us workouts. Our weightlifting coach sends emails about workouts, what we got to do. It's really mainly like push-ups, stuff like that, because they don't know if kids have weightlifting or like weights in the garage, which I do. So usually throughout what my day is I get up at 6:30 and I go to work. I work construction with my uncle. Come back at 2 and I rest, a little eat, and then I weightlift with my dad, rest, eat, footwork, go over the playbook, and that's my day.
Man, I envy you. I wish I were Joey Tarango right now doing that schedule. How about you, Will?
Yeah, you know what?
I'm not kidding.
But that's one of the old school schedules right there. When
Hell
you make
yeah.
it work right there, you know, because
Yeah.
nothing like having a little bit of change in your pocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Helping out everybody. So, Joey, once again, we appreciate it. Thank you for being part of VSN Live, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you for having me.
Take care, Joey. Good seeing you, man. Good luck, brother.
We'll be right back after this message. Welcome back, everybody, to VSN Live. Saturday night's lineups included. Right now, we finished talking to Joey Tarango from Colorado State University. Ready to go up next is Brawley native Casey Klein. You know, since I believe his sophomore year, he's been at the Wildcat level, doing great things. Ended up getting a scholarship to Ron. He was one of those kids that actually graduated early and was able to attend spring ball down there at Boise State. So he's not, I mean, his GPA, he's probably got to be in the 4 something. He just comes from that side of the, you know, that's the Casey and the Klein part, where academics is just as important as athletics. So
for sure.
I'd like to introduce everybody to Boise State Broncos linebacker Casey Klein.
Yep, glad to be here. Thanks, guys, for having me on.
Go ahead,
You ready
Ron.
to go, Will?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry about that little delay. Well, there's Mr. Casey Klein looking like suave, very suave. I dig the beard look, man. What's that all about? That's the Boise look. Yeah. Where are you at right now, Casey? Are you in town or are you back on campus?
I'm in Brawley right now, but we're going back up on Monday. So yeah, I'm here for a couple more days. Yeah. I'm still in Brawley as of right now. So
Casey, real quick, do you guys already have a schedule? Like you guys, there's no tentative schedule. This is a cement schedule. You guys have like dates. If you're actually going up on Monday, is your off-season practice date set?
So it's kind of tricky because if it went by, because this whole virus thing in Idaho is already kind of starting to blow over a little bit, but we can't get going until the NCAA gives us the thumbs up, because we have schools like San Diego State and San Jose State in our conference that still aren't even close to getting back, so they don't want us to get back and going if they can't go yet. So we're just kind of playing it by ear and waiting for the thumbs up from the NCAA.
So that being the state of what's going on with you, well, what is your status right now on the team, Casey? I mean, you're a redshirt freshman. You're coming in. Where do you see yourself on the depth chart right now?
So I see myself. So as far as my position on defense goes, the weight I put on, how much stronger I've gotten, I can see myself getting a couple packages, maybe a couple pass rush packages, and back for the quarterback on second and third downs. And then I also see myself playing a pretty big role in special teams this year. So this year for sure, if all goes to plan and we start to get going a little bit, I should definitely be contributing on the field. So yeah, it'll be fun if everything works out.
Well, yeah, man, the COVID has kind of put a damper on things, but it's really good to hear that you got 4 years to play football there at Boise State. Now, that being said, how's school going? How's the academic part of Boise going? You handling it pretty well?
Yeah, this semester was kind of weird. Obviously, we got sent home about halfway through, but I finished school last week, and I think I finished with like a 3.3 or something. So I did fine. But just time management and trying to balance out football and school is a lot tougher at the college level. But yeah, I do fine with it. It's not too big of a deal for me.
Well, the expectations.
Well, that's good to hear. That's like that's the Casey side of them, learning how to be an educated man.
Yeah. Well, you know, when we were talking about weight during this COVID-19, everybody's putting on weight, Casey. But I'm assuming you're putting on a different type of weight. I'm assuming you've been packing on some pounds in the muscle department. When you graduated from high school, Casey, what was your weight?
I probably weighed about 205 pounds.
So Casey ended up his high school year at 205 pounds. One of the reasons, you know, this is just a part of the factor, Casey injured his shoulder. Now, he wasn't able to play his junior year until, I believe, the Bell game. He came in, and there was a couple of weeks prior to that. And then he was given the green light. He started out the season his senior year. Everything was good. And then I believe, Casey, it was the same shoulder, same injury.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I might be wrong, but I believe he consulted with Boise State. Hey, listen, I don't want to ruin my scholarship here. They looked you over, and they actually gave you the green light to continue your high school career. Casey, is that correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
So Casey went from 205 pounds to what is your weight right now, Casey?
I weigh about 240 right now.
Damn. I mean, you're talking in 2 years, he's packed on. The reason that, you know, he's weighing about the 240, Ron, is that's one of those interesting things that I really find, you know, that I like to hear about, because those extra 35 plus pounds, that's all coming from muscle that he wasn't able to weight lift when he was in the high school because of that shoulder injury. So now, how is that shoulder right now, Casey?
Shoot, it feels good. It kind of feels like it's back, because even after my senior, it kind of felt kind of funny. Like I had one shoulder that was a little bit worse than the other one, but now I feel normal. I got 8 or 9 pieces of metal in there that hold together, and it feels good. So yeah, it's good.
So it's mentally. Are you through with that? Are you done even thinking about that?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. So that's not even an issue. You got green light everywhere you go, then, huh?
Yeah, it's like it never happened. Yeah, we're good.
Okay, that's that's positive things to hear. Good. Go ahead, Ron.
What I wanted Casey to explain is what was the specific injury, so people can know what they did to you to make it have 8 pieces of metal in you. What was the specific injury? What was it?
All right, so the main piece of it was I tore my labrum in half, which is a tendon right here that holds your shoulder, like the ball joint, and holds it in place. And then I also cut through, I think, 4 other ligaments just in that process of ripping it out. So my senior year, the second that happened, I took out some ligaments in the process of that too. But the main part of it was the labrum.
Man, you're a medical marvel now. Well, that's good to hear that you got the confidence, and it feels like you're back to normal. And that's a lot of credit goes to the Boise training staff over there that kept an eye on you. That's good to hear, Casey.
Yeah, for sure.
Ron, that's interesting. So that injury, of course, Boise was involved with that. And where did you have your surgery? Did you end up going to Boise for all your procedures, Casey?
So my senior year, because my junior year I wasn't committed there quite yet when I got the surgery. But my senior year, yeah. So I took a couple weeks off for some of the lighter league games, and then I played against Central and I played against Morse, and then we flew up there. I think on December 4th. On December 4th, we flew up there we were supposed to have a pre-op, because and then they just said, we can do it tomorrow. So I just ended up getting my surgery the next day in Boise over there.
Amazing.
That is truly amazing for Boise, not only to give you the green light and, of course, having the knowledge to say, hey, listen, we still want you. Look, it's not gonna impact your scholarship whatsoever. We want you. Not only that, they're gonna do the procedures and everything. So credit to Boise. And I mean, that's just one of those good stories where there was never an issue. Now, you did commit to Boise your junior year, though?
Mm-hmm. In May of my junior year. So about, what's that, 2 years ago? Yeah. So I've been, May of my junior year.
Well, right on. I had another interesting thing, and of course it involves football. But, Casey, when I've seen the Boise State Broncos, Casey, every week they're wearing a different color helmet, different jersey. Yeah. How do you guys, tell me this? It's not the same helmet. What is that? What is the process? I mean, Casey, your gloves they look brand new every week. Are they giving you a new pair of gloves how does that all work?
Yeah, so first thing about that, like, I think, in my opinion, we have like the best color combinations in the country. Like, we always have a bunch of different uniform combinations. But yeah, so we pretty much, in team meetings every week, our head coach, Coach Hars, he's pretty cool. He kind of, like, 75% of the time, he lets us pick what combination we want to wear. So we just do a group voting, and then whatever that is, the training staff gets it all ready. They're just swapping face masks all week and getting different combinations ready. And then we get a pair of game gloves like every week. They're just at our locker when we get there on Saturday. So yeah,
well,
that's usually how it works.
I remember there used to be a rumor that the coach would always be in blue helmets, blue uniform, blue socks, and with the blue field. That way they couldn't get good film on the players out there.
Yeah, I know this one. Yeah, I was about to say we only wore the blue on blues like 2 or 3 times this year. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know the full story with it, but I do like, if that's the reason, I'm fine with it, because I like getting to wear all those. Like this year we wore white, black, blue, orange. It was nuts. So it's pretty cool to be able to do all that.
What's your favorite combo in uniform?
So against Hawaii at home, we rocked white helmets, orange jerseys, and white pants, and I thought that look was pretty cool. Then our all blacks this year were pretty cool too. So
I actually kind of like that chrome helmet. It's just something about that chrome helmet that was pretty cool. I haven't had a chance to see the all black. I mean, that must have a little pinstripe with the blue and orange in there, right?
Yeah, so it's black, and then the letters have blue lining with white, and then the middle names, the last names on the back, they're like a dark gray, which looks dope. So yeah, the all blacks were pretty sick this year. We wore those about 3 times, I think.
Well, Casey, we appreciate you coming on. You've been a guest during your high school years. We really appreciate that at halftime, and we're just thrilled to have you. This is part of the new segments that we're going to include. We're going to keep tabs on you, and your dad and I were already talking, man. We're already setting up the tailgate party for San Diego State next year, right. Casey, man. I mean, there's going to be a big part of Brawley's going to be there, Casey. So not just next year, but this year, we look forward to seeing you on TV. We wish you the best of luck, and you're making everybody in Imperial Valley proud, and I'm sure the community of Brawley is proud to have you on there. You're just a great kid all around, great family structured kid, and just proud of you, to be honest with you, man. Good job, Casey.
Thank you, man. Thank you. It means a lot.
Ron, before we say goodbye, you got something to say?
Well, no, I just want to wish Casey all the luck in the world. He's in a perfect spot right now. I think he's up. Thank God he took care of the injury. And there's one thing characteristic I always that stood out for me on Casey. Every year that we had spring training with Casey Klein, there'd be kids in the background. Okay, yeah, here's first team up, boom, 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 doing their things. Casey was the kind of kid that would get his rep in, boom, run his play. He'd be back with the second, third, and fourth team JV kids telling him what to do, giving him advice. That's something that I always admire in you, Casey. Please don't lose that in you, man. And doing good things for others has led for you to be in the spot that you're in. So keep up the good work, son. And like I said, man, I love both sides of your family, the Kleins and Casey. So you're just like a little cousin to me by heart, because me and your cousin, me and your Uncle Chris go way back. And I just want to wish you the best of luck. Keep things going, and don't change the path you're on, brother. Take care.
Awesome, man. Thank you guys so much. It means a lot.
You got it, man.
We'll be keeping in touch with you during the season, Casey. Once again, best of luck. We'll talk to you later. VSN will be right back with Nico Aguirre. Welcome back, everybody, to VSN Live for the Saturday edition with the college guys out there. We just finished with Joey Tarango from Colorado. He's actually in the Valley right now. Casey Klein, Boise State Broncos, joined us a little while, letting us know how his injury, how's everything going down there for Boise. You know, he's looking to get some PT time. So in special teams and a couple of packages and with the team this year. So things are looking good for Casey Klein. And our next up, you know, Brawley graduate 2015, total standout stud. He fits in the same category as Casey Klein and Joey Tarango. These guys were amazing studs on and off the field. And they have all, and some of them, you know, of course, Nico's finished with his college career. But Nico Aguirre, everybody, please welcome the new Nico Aguirre. And when I mean new, it's just the look, buddy. It's just the look, because to us, you're still Nico, man.
I'm older. I just got facial hair now.
Well, great seeing you, man. And I believe Coach Ron has a couple of questions and some good conversations to go over with you.
Well, let's see if it works. Let's see if it works with Nico. And Nico, good seeing you today, man. Listen, Nico. Well, you just wound up your college career with the Bengals over there in Idaho State Bengal. You completed your college career. Real quick, let the people know what position you played out there. I know you're a defensive back, safety, but were you strong? Well, I'm not too sure whether you're free or strong safety. I had the pleasure of seeing you play against Cal Poly in Cal Poly. It's a time I'll never forget. I'm very proud of you. And before we go on with the questions, I've had Nico as a Pop Warner kid. Will, I don't know if you ever coached him, but I coached Nico at Pop Warner. I got to have him in as a freshman, and I had him on the JV squad. He played alongside Ross. He's kind of like a second son to me. So doesn't mean I'm going to hold back on the questions, but that's the history that Nico and I have. So some of the things I may say to him, don't take offense to. But anyway, let's start off with this. You had a great career at Idaho State. Good enough to where you were preparing for the NFL draft. Now, what position did you play at Idaho State, and what position were you training for to be as a free agent in the NFL?
At Idaho State, it depended on the coaches.
All right.
My first year, I actually started. It was just right and left safety. So if you were on the right side, you just played whatever that safety's responsibilities were. So I could play boundary or free. And then with my other coach, the next year when I was a redshirt junior, I just played boundary safety. I was just more in the box, and also I was just covering tight ends. I wasn't really playing man. I was just free, like more in the deep third post, just out there, just flying around, just trying to get picks, you know, capitalize on on all those opportunities. And then this last year was pretty much the same thing. I just played boundary safety, just more zone, and yeah, I just came down, made a lot of tackles, and didn't get as much interceptions as I wanted, but still had a lot of opportunities to make a lot of plays.
Yeah, well, if you're down low in the box covering those tight ends, that means you're a good tackler for the run game, as you always have been your whole life. I mean, Nico's been one of the best tacklers and all-around football players I've been around in my whole coaching career. Nico Aguirre's been able to do it all. That being said, Nico, good career, great career, great career at Idaho State, and now he's throwing up his signs. A typical Nico. Let me tell you something, man. Well, anyhow.
Oh yeah, but also to follow on your other question, when I was training over there in Athletic Gains, it was more specified just for the pro day. So it was a lot of 40 just technique, just getting that down pat, you know, like all the intricacies that go into it, and plus just the drills that they have at any pro day, and you know, just getting me ready for defensive back drills. It wasn't really like fine-tuned to just safety or free safety, strong safety. It was just defensive back drills. So just trying to get in all aspects of, you know, footwork, getting my hips open, all that stuff. Just like the drills they do at the combine. Sometimes they can trickle down to a pro day if the scouts want to see you do those drills at your pro day. Unfortunately, as everyone knows, COVID struck the world, and it impacted a lot of guys in my position, not just me, who were trying to get to the next level, and especially with guys who didn't have enough exposure like me. But, you know, I'm still staying hopeful right now, or the last 2 months because I couldn't keep training at Athletic Gains because, you know, it's just I was staying up there with Tony Leone's son, Reese Leone, my brother's best friend. And, you know, it's a lot of money, you know, to keep training over there. But I'm glad I had the opportunity to train over there. I learned a lot of stuff, and, you know, I'm staying hopeful still training as much as I can. But, you know, right now I'm just chilling right now, just kicking it really.
Well, that's good to hear, Nico. And, you know, you got to keep hope alive, man. Look, you're in a position where you're still a young man. Things can't swing your way. You know, whatever normalcy that comes our way, take advantage of it. And I'm pretty sure with your skills, Nico, there's also Canadian football, if it still survives. I heard the Canadian Football League may fold. But listen, man, there's plenty of venues for you to go professionally. The more important thing, son, is you got that degree. Let us know what kind of degree did you get? Are you in education? I heard it was somewhere in the psychiatry field. Fill us in on that.
Yeah, I got my BS in psychology.
Whew.
Yeah, so I should have started my master's my last semester of my senior year, but I just wanted to do art. But it was hard, you know, honestly, that art was not my thing.
Did he just say art was hard?
Yes.
Art was hard. Art was hard. You know, hey, man, I had a hard time coloring in coloring books, staying within the lines. I can imagine making your own picture. Well, that's something else. Now, hey, you've got that paper to be a psychologist. There's plenty of things you can do down here in the Valley, man. There's a lot of kids that need your help. Become a school psychologist. You know, give back over here. We've been hearing all week long the great human interest stories, right, Will? Like Josh Wise, guys going out to play college. Rookie Peg, give him back, man. So one thing, if this football thing doesn't work out in the immediate future, the first year, this year, next year, Nico, you have a lot to give back, man. So don't you worry about that, son. You've been blessed with a good mind and a good heart. So let's let that get to work for you. But back to the working out. Yeah, the working out that you were doing up there in LA. Yeah, it's become a business. You see a lot of these top prospects going to. I don't know, what was your trainer's name of the business, or I don't know who they hooked you up with, but it is a stone cold business, Will. I mean, and that's all you do is you train on the drills that you'll see in the combine, that you'll see at the pro days at these campuses. What was the name of the place? And give us some of the names of some of the big name guys you were working out with. I heard there was a guy from University of Utah running back there as well.
For sure. The facility I was training at was Athletic Gains in Westlake, California, kind of by Thousand Oaks. And there's another one in Calabasas. I trained there a couple times too, but it was mainly in Westlake. And the head guy is Travell Gaines. He trains like some top-notch players like Todd Gurley, Saquon Barkley.
Ooh.
And every year he has a draft like a workout in a sense. I don't know how to explain. A draft group of guys who work out.
All right.
Justin Hannon, NWR. He hooked it up. He
All right.
went out on a limb and hit up Travell and just got me in there. And I was like, at first, I felt like a little out of place. I was like, damn, these guys were really like ballers. But then I just start working. I get in there, and then I felt like, the guys just were like, damn, like this kid, he can play too, and it just makes me more confident because, I'm just a mellow guy. I don't trip on a lot of stuff, but yeah, just going over there, it opened my eyes that like, this is not unattainable. I can for sure do it. And then some of the guys that I saw in there, it wasn't just specifically football. I saw but football players I did see, of course. I saw Brandon Cooks in there. I saw Kenny Galladay.
Oh yeah.
From the Detroit Lions. Job. Right. Also, and a couple guys from my group were drafted, like Gabriel Davis from the UCF Knights. He got drafted in the 3rd round, I believe. And then Zach Moss from Utah. I actually played against him last.
That's right.
Worked out with him, so that was cool in and of itself. So yeah, there was some guys. I'm glad I met those guys. Have connections with them now, and I'm glad that they're following their dreams too. I know most of them did get picked up, but there's a couple that are still in my position that didn't get a pro day and didn't get to showcase their talents. So yeah.
Hey Ron, I know Nico. I remember 2 games from this previous last year. One of them was against BYU, and then the other one was against Utah, which was a little lopsided. But when you say you play at the safety position at DB field, Nico, man, there was a time where you were always number 1 or number 2 leading in interceptions on the team. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, but besides that, just those 2 games come to mind right now. Nico, you were up on the line playing within 3 to 5 yards off the line of scrimmage on there a lot of the times, taking on the running back. So it's not just that back there waiting for that Oski to come to you. You were like an Atwater. You were like those badass safeties back in the day where you're like, come on, man, this, strong right. Nico's on the outside, just right off the defensive end with 3 to 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, ready to take on either the leading blocker or the running back. So it wasn't just that safety position. So in your mind, when people start thinking safety, you're just, playing center field. In your case, in my opinion, it wasn't like that, Nico. That was just good to see. That's the type of hitter that you were, You would lay the wood on people, man. I mean, back from your day. And there was no hesitation also in the college level, especially going up against Utah, number 1 rusher there for, this past season. So explain a little bit of, what your mentality was going into those games.
Well, of course, like watching film, our coaches would be like, you can't tackle this guy high. You can't do this, like talking him up. So that the whole week, I'm just like I don't care where I'm going to tackle him. I'm going to tackle him low, high, him down. But I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I'm just like, I just bite my mouthpiece and be like, all right, this is not going to be easy. This is going to hurt. So I just take it. And, you got to do that. That's why you got to play your 111th. You got to do your job on the field, and you can't be you got to be fearless, because if you go in there thinking about it, that's how you get hurt. I've been hurt before. You know how it is. So you can't play like that. You got to play fast.
So one of the things in high school, you did have an injury that kept you out a couple of games. At the college level, you had not as severe injuries. What was some of the injuries that you sustained during your college days?
Well, I always say, like, because I think I play football not specified for my body type because I am smaller and, you know, not the biggest guy. But I play like I feel like I play like I'm 6'3", 215, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the injuries that I sustained were pretty much just like stingers on my shoulder, just trying to come in and tackle guys that are bigger than me. Some sprained ankles, sprained wrists, you know, just come to the game, you know. You guys who play football too, you had those injuries as well.
For sure.
And anyone who plays will have those injuries. But, you know, I'm just glad I just kept my head safe. That's one injury I didn't want to have, of course, and knock on wood. But, yeah, I'm just blessed, you know. I didn't have any injuries in college that sidelined me ever. The only time, like, I would have started every game since the end of my sophomore year if it wasn't for me getting targeting calls. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah. You did get taken out. I remember right before, I think it was the third quarter, right before half. Yeah. You know, and one thing I do want to say, Wedo and Aaron, you know, I've never seen so much show of proud coming from them. You know, with just that little circle, that little bond you guys got. So, you know, and your dad, your mom, and, you know, your brothers and sisters, you know, there's, you know, that was just great to see, man. And everybody's proud of you, you know, Imperial Valley. If they hadn't heard of you, you know, hopefully they hear of you now. And we know that everybody from the community of Bromley has been behind you and you know, with your parents posting, you know, a lot of the highlight films and the parties at Linda Garcia's house. So, you know, watching your games and stuff, you know, that's been very exciting. So we wish you the best of luck. You know, it freaking sucks. And sometimes, you know, things like, I don't know if it's going to happen. This is something that's never happened before, man. I did have one last question reverting to the COVID-19 stuff. Is Canada an option for you?
Canada, NFL, I'll play, you know. I just want to show that I can play, make some money playing football. Like,
that's right.
Who wouldn't want to do that? Like,
yeah.
I'm all for it. I'm all go for it. But, like, I have talked to my agent, you know. He was keeping me informed. He said that teams, like the scouts that he showed my film to, like, they like my film. They like the way I play. It's just my size for the most part. And, you know, with all this uncertainty, you can't just take a shot on a guy you don't know anything about. You know, That's business. That's just business. And, you know, I understand it all. And he's told me, like, the CFL too, like a couple guys, scouts have liked my film, but they can't just pull the trigger because it's all this uncertainty going around.
Yeah.
Well, before this wraps up, you know, well, I'm going to touch on a few things. Number one, as Will was describing your play at safety, he drew comparisons with Troy Polamalu. Not only does he look like him, a mini Troy Polamalu, but he also plays like him. No, I'm not trying to be funny here. The hustle, the aggressiveness, the smarts that Polamalu played with. Couldn't stand Polamalu at SC because he was a Trojan, but I admired his game. Nico is kind of in that mode, you know. And one thing I like about Nico, he's got that brawly boy attitude still in him. Yeah. Here he goes to some training facility. He's probably the smallest guy. He says I don't fit in, but guess what? When he put on the cleats, put on the shorts, says do these drills, boom, I fit in. I can do this. Love it. That's the pride that I think I like to say I put in the kid. Nico is, you know, he knows how to use the skills that he has. So that being said, Nico, you're going to go a far way, man. It's too bad the COVID's here, but we got to hang in there. Like you said, hang on to that hope. Maybe the XFL, that's another. The XFL was kicking butt. It was kind of a cool little league going on. Ross and I would sit here and watch it. And I remember the first day we watched, I said, freaking Nico can find a spot on one of these rosters. So, hey, man, if it's in your heart, the dream is still there, keep chasing it, Nico. Do not give up. You got the smarts. You got your degree. Just keep hope alive, man. And we're always here to promote you, to help you get your word out. Heck, we'll get film out. Let's start loading up film and sending it to places. And that's another thing, another point I want to touch on is a lot of these NFL school, all these professional teams won't take a chance on a kid like Nico. Why? Because they want to see them live. They want to see him on the field. They want to see him working out. They want to see the things that they can't see when you're watching film on somebody. That's a whole different story. When you watch somebody on film, wow, everybody looks good on film, but then you get 10 feet away from them, 5-10 yards away, you see how quick he drops. You see how quick he comes out of that drop. That's when you say, hey, man, I'll use this guy. This guy fits our system. And that's the thing that Nico needs. All Nico needs is to showcase his talent in front of somebody. And hopefully, Nico, you get that chance. Because I know as a coach, you want to see that guy. You want to see him and be able to see what he's done actually. Hey, man, all it takes is a few drills. And let me tell you, some coaches say, that's my man. So I hope that keeps you a little bit of hope going, Nico. And I appreciate very much the time that you've given us today. I know you're a busy man this weekend. And take care of Christina and yourself, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, guy.
For sure. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it for having me. All right. Love you, Coach Ronnie. Love you, Will. Respect always. Brawler for life. And like you said about my brothers and my family, always showing love and support. Like, that's everyone from the Valley, or from Brawley especially. And I just want to shout out my brothers and my sisters, my dad, my mom, my grandma, my grandparent, my grandpa. All love, and thank you guys so much, and hope you guys have a good weekend too.
All right.
We will, Nico, and you know, this is one of those segments we're going to keep in touch with you,
Yeah.
Nico. We're going to keep in touch with these conferences. It's a venue that VSN wants to improve on. I touched on it a little bit earlier. We want to, you know, let's carry this on. I know we started late with you. You're graduating, but we got to start from somewhere, you know. So it's something VSN is looking forward to. And we're going to improve on that, and we're glad that you were able to come on with us, and we're going to keep in touch. And, you know, Nico, lots of love going your way from us.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Hope
See you later, Nico.
is over.
All right, man.
Take care.
Good night. Thanks, Nico. From VSN Live, Ron Rubio, Will Torres, thank you very much for watching all week long. Thank you for being here Saturday. Appreciate it. There's some announcements coming on after we have a couple more Zoom meetings, but we have exciting things coming at you from VSN Live. Once again, this would not be possible without the help of my partner, my sidekick, my interrogator, man, Ron Rubio. This guy breaks everything down when it comes to teams, when it comes to coaches, when it comes to players. This guy breaks it down, fills me with all the knowledge he has, passes it on, makes me look good. I really appreciate your help, Ron. And as we all know, that's Starbucks cup, wrong cup, buddy. Yeah. As we all know, that none of this would be possible without Joaquin. Joaquin is actually the guy that puts everything behind. He's the one that coordinates everything. VSN is, you know, Joaquin is VSN.
Joaquin is, he's the brains of the operation, as they say. He's the whole brains behind everything. Love the kid to death. I want to be his godfather, but apparently he's already had one. And what can I say, man? I feel empty without him.
The kid does amazing stuff. And our other part of the crew, Jonathan Butler, which makes VSN look good with all the highlight films in the media department. So you're going to see a lot of exciting things coming soon. And I mean soon, COVID or no COVID, you're going to see a lot of exciting things coming from VSN. And a big thank you for all the coaches, all the administrators, and all Joe Public that was out there that came in this whole week out here to help us out. Once again, Ron Rubio, Will Torres, VSN Live. Talk to you later. Peace.